You will own an electric vehicle and you will like it. Whether or not you like it, electric vehicles are here to stay and we aren't turning back. Similar to how Apple got rid of the headphone jack and the button, which I'm still traumatized by, we will have to learn how to adjust. New laws that have been enacted have a vision, okay? They want by 2030 every other car purchased to be an electric vehicle. And while you may or may not want an electric vehicle, you deserve to profit off of it, okay? So let's talk about getting this bread. Whether or not you want an electric vehicle, watch this video till the end because we're going to talk about how to profit off of it, okay? There are literally billions of dollars pouring into this industry. Who cares if you don't want a car like that? So Joe Biden successfully introduced and passed a law to actually annihilate the middle class. He introduced a new stimulus package in the tune of trillions of dollars. Don't let what they tell you fool you, okay? There's trillions, plural, up in this bill, okay? So let's talk about it. There are plenty of references to electric vehicles in the 1,039 pages that we know Congress did not read. I didn't read it either, but I read what was important for this video. What it does have money allocated to is electric charging stations, right? Because that's pretty much the biggest barrier. When I think of an electric car, the first thing that comes to my mind is being stuck somewhere with no gas. Or I guess I should have said when I run out of charge or power. What do they say when they run out? Okay, and there aren't really a strong presence of electric charging stations the way there is gas stations, okay? So he wants America to invest $7.5 billion into these charging stations. And he also wants to be more competitive with China, who has 8 times the amount of electric vehicle infrastructure than we do, okay? So we got a long way to go. We do need some more easily accessible, fast charging stations across the nation. Stations across the nation. Stations across the nation. That, coupled with the potential $12,500 credit that they may introduce and they may pass, will be a recipe for success in the electric vehicle space. There are plenty of companies that are coming out with these cars, but let's think a little bit deeper, right? Let's literally break apart the components of what it takes to make these and see how we can profit. Now, they claim this initiative will cost about $50 billion, okay? But from my research, I've seen anywhere from $50 billion to $80 billion that this will actually require. And the bill specifically says from public and private sectors. They're only putting in 7.5, remember that, okay? So there are billions and billions more they are expecting to get from us. So we might as well get in right now before FOMO sets in and everybody else rushes in trying to make a profit. So from my reading and my research, which takes a lot of work, so if you guys do appreciate this, please give me a like and please be sure to share the content because that is the freest and easiest way to support my work. But for my research, here are the areas that I think will require investments and potential to actually really grow what we put in there, okay? I have to look. Products used to develop the batteries, thinking lithium. Cobalt and nickel have also been mentioned, but lithium is really what they're trying to take and run with. I know people have some beef against lithium. It's not necessarily the most eco-friendly option, but neither is a lot of things that we do out here, okay? Products used to create the electric charging stations. Public companies that already have existing infrastructure. This $7.5 billion is only going to public companies who can prove they already have this infrastructure in place and already have ways to build this out, okay? This money is going to be, I guess let me explain that. The money is going to be given as grants to public companies only. So we're going to focus on companies we can actually buy their stock. Of course, we can invest in companies that already manufacture these vehicles, and we can also invest in electric companies. So let's talk about specific companies that we can invest in. And of course, I absolutely hate this disclaimer because I feel like y'all are all smart enough, but just to CYA, none of this is like direct financial advice. I always want you to do your own research. Never trust anybody just at face value. Trust but verify. All right. GM is trying to come up with a battery that can actually last 1,000,000 miles. If you know anything about electric vehicles, the heart and soul, the bread and butter of their vehicles is the battery, this lithium battery, okay? And right now, I think they only go up to 100 or 200,000 miles, okay? So if GM can actually accomplish this, the longevity of these vehicles will be, immeasurable, right? You're gonna get sick of the car before it gives out on you. Now, GM is not gonna come up with production until 2024, so you can get in now before it gets hyped up. Let me see what they're trading at right now. These companies are not even trading a lot of money, okay? Like a lot of things that I picked are very affordable. And I know people have their things about GM too. Like, look, this is not a video about who's popular and who's not. It's about how we get in this money in 2022 and beyond. As of this video, GM is trading at $56, okay? So not too bad. Now they're also being said to team up with a company called EVgo, which is also a public company, and to build out charging stations, okay? So they've already had this in place pre-infrastructure bill. So I have a good feeling if they're smart, I don't know, I don't have the ins and outs of GM, right? But if they're smart, they're a public company, they're teaming up with a public company to build these charging stations, they should apply for this infrastructure bill grant, okay? And take a piece of their $7.5 billion. EVgo is only trading at $10, okay? Let's take a picture of that. $10.25. So you can consider looking into that company too. Tesla is also trying to create, they've been talking about this for a while, $1 million battery as well. Obviously, Tesla has much more press than GM and EVgo, so it's much more expensive. Tesla has also teamed up with a Chinese company. And like I said, Chinese people, or China, China is the leaders of this thing, okay? So I also have some ETFs on here. ETF, for those who don't know, is an exchange traded fund. It's going to be a culmination of various companies that you can actually purchase for pennies on the dollar, okay? Some of these that I'm going to mention have Tesla in it, for example, but they are not as expensive as Tesla. I don't know how people feel about fractional shares or things like that nature, but I want to give a little something for everybody. Let's start with LIT, okay? LIT is a ticker symbol. They are currently trading at $85 at the time of this recording, $85.02, okay? 38% of their ETF is focused on basic materials, like that whole lithium thing, okay? It also has some technology and some industrials companies in here as well. Drive, ticker number DRIV, is another company that is an ETF. This one is a little bit more well-rounded. I'm looking down because I'm looking at the details, but they're more forward-thinking, okay? They're thinking about the future, which is apparently going to be entirely on the internet. I don't know. So they're heavily invested in NVIDIA. NVIDIA focuses on artificial intelligence, which is seemingly taking over the world. And they also have other stocks focused on autonomous driving, okay? Because this is kind of what Tesla has been envisioning, and other car companies will definitely follow suit. Now, the only caveat I will add here is that within the infrastructure bill, they are going to put some money aside to research the safety of these autonomous vehicles. So just be wary of that, right? That might mean some legislation in the future that might ban this or something like that. But, you know, for now, there's no regulations. They haven't began the research in extensive detail yet, so we can still profit. Now, I'll also put a link down below to have some other options too. But honestly, why stop at electric vehicles and self-driving cars? The future is very bright and it's very profitable. Watch this video about how you can invest in the future of the internet and make big bank off of the new web. And until next time, keep your money up.